They were the greatest civilization in the cosmos, until one night erased them from history. This is the story Blizzard doesn't want you to see, how the Draenei went from ruling worlds to fighting for scraps, why they replaced pandas in WoW, and the hopes and dreams surrounding the Broken. Their exile began with a single no, and ended with a crash landing that changed Azeroth forever. Before the Legion, before the light, there was Argus, a world of shimmering cities and boundless knowledge. The Eredar thrived under three leaders: Archimonde, the strategist, Kil'jaeden, the diplomat, and Velen, the seer. Together they built an empire, until the day Sargeras came knocking. The Dark Titan offered unlimited power. Archimonde craved strength, Kil'jaeden saw opportunity, but Velen, he hesitated. When his visions revealed the truth, that the Eredar would become demonic husks, he refused. That night, the Naru, Curie, whispered a warning: run or die. And so Velen and his followers stole a dimensional fortress, rechristening themselves the Draenei, exiled ones in their tongue. This wasn't just a ship, it was a temple city, its crystalline halls designed to sustain thousands. As the last Draenei scrambled aboard, Archimonde's demons clawed at its hull. With the pulse of Naru energy, the Genedar ripped through dimensions, leaving Argus and their old lives to burn. For millennia, they drifted between worlds, always one step ahead of Kil'jaeden's hunters. The Naru called it the Great Exodus, a flight so long children were born and died without seeing solid ground. Until at last, a blue-green world appeared in their viewports, Draenei, crashing into Nagrand, forming that big crystal we know as Oshagun. For years, the Draenei hid on Draenor, building crystalline cities like Shatrath. They lived peacefully with the orcs until Kil'jaeden found them. Consumed by vengeance, he twisted the orcs into weapons. This is the corruption I talked about in the orc video. And that horde's first act, the Purge of Shatrath, a brutal massacre akin to the burning of Teldrassil. The Draenei fought back with Lightforge technology and Naru magic, but it wasn't enough. They were in ruins. The surviving Draenei taken prisoner became the fuel for the Dark Portal. Only a handful could escape, including a young priest named Nobundu, who would later become Azeroth's first broken shaman. Now, after Shatrath's fall, the Draenei's last hope rested with Tempest Keep, a Naru stronghold orbiting Draenor. But when Kel'Thas Blood Elves seized it, the Draenei made a desperate play. Take the Exodar or die here. As the ship tore free of Tempest Keep, something went horribly wrong. Kil'jaeden's sabotage triggered a dimensional implosion. The Exodar lurched and then plummeted through the nether like a falling star. The Draenei crashed through the sky, obviously landing on the pandas that we were gonna get in TBC. But when the smoke cleared, the Draenei found themselves stranded on Azure Mist Isle, their ship in ruins. But the crash had an unexpected upside. Kil'jaeden lost their trail, and for the first time in thousands of years, they were free. And little did they know, but this incident would alter Azeroth's fate forever. Within months, these refugees would help defeat Kil'jaeden himself, completing a journey that began with a single act of defiance on Argus. Now that we're all caught up, the Draenei were not supposed to be in the Burning Crusade. There were original plans to have Pandaren as the Alliance race. Now, I have an entire video on this, but Blizzard did pivot last minute due to they didn't have the licensing for the pandas, and they needed a race that tied to Legion lore, and the Draenei's exile story fit perfectly. And there was a lot of kind of artistic confusion around them, as we had only really seen the broken. There were some early alpha models that even gave Draenei much larger, kind of hooved feet like satyrs. But this was scrapped as it looked a little bit too demonic. So, on the topic of Draenei, of course, with Shatrath, it would be a missed opportunity to mention that in very early WoD development, Shatrath was planned to be a raid. From a narrative point of view, would we be clearing the Orc Purge and liberating the city? Possibly not. Most likely it'd be that we'd be fighting back the cultists of the zone, as for the most part the Talador quests are about fighting back the shadowy Orc warlocks, just like we got in Auchindoun, which is one of the WoD dungeons they did bring in. Now also, the Broken were really close to being a playable allied race. There were talks, rumours, and even full animations being found in the game files. It built huge excitement. But Blizzard must have axed them as the trail has been dead since the Light Forged. My assumption is it was one or the other. We were either going to be able to play the Light Forged, or we would have had the Crocul, which were the Argus Broken. It is a shame though, because imagine leveling as a grizzled genocide survivor. The Warcraft 3 models do still haunt me. We would have been able to get Draenei Warlocks through the Broken as well, which would have been a really cool addition. Today, the Draenei are no longer fugitives. Legion revealed their Lightforged cousins, warriors who spent millennia fighting the Legion aboard the Zenadar, and of course the Crocul, who I've mentioned as well, who finally got their revenge on Argus. Of course, the better choice for the allied race. Even Velen's story came full circle. He confronted Kil'jaeden in Twisting Nether, watching his old friend scream into the void. Their tale is one of resilience. They've lost worlds, endured genocide, and outlasted the Legion itself. Yet they still fight, not for conquest, but for redemption. Would you like a deeper dive into the Naru's dark side? Please let me know in the comments. And remember, sometimes the best stories begin with a single no. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and do please have a lovely day.